Mike,
What's going on, dude?
whew, coming to the end of a crazy workday. Let me tell
There
you,
you go.
man. Let me see. You are a little bit quiet. Should,
Little bit
yeah, let me see if I can't turn that up.
How
There we
about
go.
now?
Much better, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. Let me open up our notes. All right, man. So, how's your weekend?
My weekend was pretty good, dude. I got a
Yeah,
lot done.
good, man. That's good. So, I guess
Got a lot done.
figuring out, basically what we're going to focus on, what the important things are for you.
Yeah. Well, I had sent you my strategic objective, which was probably more than you really needed to know, but I had this whole thing. So I had sent you that for your own reference, just so you can kind of see what my goals are. They're broken down by like quarter for this year. Um, and then they go into like next year and all that bullshit. But for now, as far as the websites and the way you were talking about funneling leads and everything, I was thinking I should focus on um, flooring, kitchens, and bathrooms.
Flooring, kitchens, bathrooms. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I have keywords and all that, which I can email to you.
Perfect.
Um,
Yeah, we can definitely get a general idea of what that looks like for us. Right now, um, definitely, I mean, you've done a lot of the keyword research, the basic of like what we're looking for as far as ranking up goes. So if you see something that you think is important that I should add into the keyword search, then let me know.
okay,
But for the time being, I'm going to just check out the competition in the area and the volume. And that's going to give us an idea of how easy it is and how profitable it can be. Make
okay,
sense?
yeah,
All right, man. So let me guide you through it, man. Let's see. Share screen. Two. All right, you can see my screen.
yeah,
All
I
right,
gotcha.
awesome. Uh, so first and foremost, let's get a good idea of your service area. So Google Maps. Um, all right, so you had like this weirdly spelled county. If you wouldn't
Yeah,
mind spelling it for me one more time.
or who you want? There you go.
Oh, did you text it to me?
In the chat.
Oh, Facebook.
No, right here on Zoom, I
Oh,
think.
man,
Right?
you are.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see that. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you're
Copy and paste, dude.
you're one of the few people who really knows how to use Zoom. That's awesome.
Okay. If that's what, sure. Yeah, if that's what gets me street cred in Zoom, fine. I'll
For
roll with
I
it.
mean, for a digital marketer, man, it does.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, okay. So you're in the Washington, Baltimore area.
No. The red dotted one to the right,
Yeah,
as
this.
I'm pointing to. Yeah, so Washington's actually about, depending on traffic, 45 minutes an hour.
Gotcha. Okay. So
But I live, if you zoom in, I love how I keep pointing like you can see where I'm pointing.
I mean, I can
Harold
kind of see it.
Harbor,
Yeah. Harbor. Okay. Oh,
Harold
right there.
Harbor, right there. That's where I live.
Gotcha.
Literally, like right there.
Okay. So what you're looking for is obviously ideally most of your competition and your most of your competition's out here and most of your clients are within 5 minutes of where you live.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
And
that's
there's some very lucrative, wealthy people in my area.
I see. Okay, that's great. That could
I
make
mean,
the
I'm
volume much less important than the actual ticket of the price, you know?
yeah.
Um,
So yeah, Kyle Road. Okay, so you see Harold Harbor Park there to your left.
yep.
I literally live right on Cedar Trail. That little white dot. Go right. The house with the solar panels.
Nice.
To the left,
Oh,
three
right
feet
here.
right there. Yeah, as I keep pointing. Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
man.
That's my house. That is my old deck. Hmm,
That's cool.
that's the old one. Oh,
All
I wish I could get. I suck at before and after picture taking.
Nice.
But yeah, so if you go down Kyle Road, that whole peninsula there,
Yeah.
those are all, as you can see, they've all got their own docks and waterfront property, and
Yeah.
those are big
I
houses.
mean, yeah, I mean, that's great, when you can get clients like this, but obviously, I mean, you could literally knock on their door and hit them in afternoon. Uh,
Yeah.
so it's not
Well,
something that like with digital marketing, you can kind of like just target these affluent
right.
areas. But you can include them and you will get them every so often, but
Yeah.
obviously you're not going to sustain yourself on 10
Yeah,
houses.
no. I'm
You
just,
know,
yeah.
but it's good to know. It's good to know that this area in general, pretty much anybody over here, they've got some money to spend. They've got their investment properties, the places on the up and up.
It's amazing the difference between the houses along the water and then where your cursor is across the street.
Yeah,
It's
I
it's interesting.
you can kind of tell. You can kind of tell.
But
Um,
anyway, yeah, so there's a lot of potential in my area. And according to my neighbor who's a plumber, he was one of the people advocating for me to get my contractor's license because he said that there's so much of a demand for licensed contractors that people are willing to wait 6 months for one.
wow, that's crazy. That's a great problem to have when you're trying to
Yeah,
get into this space.
right.
Um, okay.
So, anywho, keep lead the way, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that we want to look at this is, we can do by the county, but obviously that comes all the way down to here to friendship land,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you're
that's
not,
about an hour and 15 minutes.
yeah. So at that point, you'd rather go into the city to really get a deal, So, oh,
Right.
Edgewater, I've got family over there for sure.
Oh,
Actually,
awesome.
yeah, like really close family. So I've been to Edgewater a ton, like, tens of times.
Good. Tell them you know a licensed contractor.
I will absolutely. Yeah, no, these are excellent areas. I've been jet skiing in this area. You've got famous people
Yeah.
on the water here.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
real nice area. So we definitely want to get like Edgewater. I think Mayoville's around here. Um,
Yeah, Mayo's down
yeah, right here.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we definitely want to hit those areas. Annapolis would be nice. Obviously, the more that your competition's in that area, for advertising, the more expensive that's going to be as far as pay-per-click campaigns go.
Right.
Um, but here's the thing: you can attack this from sort of like an 80-20 rule, where uh, 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your customers, but also the way that you do strategy, you could say, like, I'm going to have more of like a eventide approach with uh, building out websites, targeting certain areas from an organic point of view, which can be really
Right.
affordable, and also commission based or quasi commission based, which is
Right.
something that is the best deal if you can get that going. Okay. Like,
Right.
honestly, my best deals, the ones where I'm most happy and where my clients are most happy, is where we're not doing pay per click ads because it's really expensive. It's really dynamic. It's kind of a crapshoot. But it can work. Like, I've had people for over a year at this point running pay per click with me. But then I've also had people where it didn't work out the first month, it didn't work out the second month, and we ended up shaking hands.
Right.
That's kind of how that works. And I've spent a lot of money learning how to do these appropriately, how to compete with other people in the area. And sometimes it's just not there. Sometimes it's in the economy. Sometimes it's in the algorithm with Google, the way that they work. And what we
Right.
want to do is we want to develop a healthy balance. We do want to try everything because, like I said, when you do pay per click and you've got somebody who knows what they're doing, that's going to give you the best shot at closing those deals. So you choose the niche and you choose the area. General contracting, very hard to do. Most people
Right.
do like a bathroom remodel or what have you. They're not realtors, so they're not looking for general contractors. They just Google bathroom remodeling Pasadena. That's what
Right.
they'll do. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be the customer. We're gonna go in, um, you know, uh, flooring contractor, uh, Pasadena MD. Okay, and Google works out that algorithm. Now you're going to see a couple things. You're going to see these things, which are Google guaranteed businesses.
Right.
To get up here, it's pay per click. And honestly, people don't click these. They go
You were
right
telling me
past
that,
these.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
You
so
said it was this business maps one.
that's what matters.
You
Yeah.
said this is what we were concerned about.
Right. So we see Pasadena floors. We want to see how legitimate that business is, make sure they're not a lead gen site. 23 reviews, no reviews, one review. So Pasadena might be a good place to head out for, and we might be able to beat these guys. Pasadena floors, here we go. They're number one on MatPack. So these are definitely a place where uh, they do have a pretty good strategy, or they don't have that much competition. What I'm seeing here further is we really don't have any other local business in Pasadena. It looks like it's just Pasadena floors. And then you get these one-off businesses that happen to be like across the street from each other, but they don't have but their websites aren't ranking, So we'll click this website, Kelly's Floor Coverings. Okay, let's take a look at it. First off, it took way too long to load. It just says get quote. We don't really know what's going on here. Kelly's, what the hell? It's really not that great. They have a video here that you can watch about us. Very basic. Which basic is good, but this isn't what Google wants to see, because Google's not going to look at this thumbnail and know that you install floors.
Right.
Okay. Google's not going to look at this and know that you're active. Google's not going to look at this and say, wow, that looks excellent. I know exactly who to call because that was an easy number to find. Because that wasn't. Right. I didn't even see that when I scrolled through the first time.
That's like a GoDaddy template.
Exactly. Now, actually, it is GoDaddy.
Because I know GoDaddy like the back of my hand, dude. I use them for my CBD business.
Right. Now, here's the thing. You do want a simple website. You don't want one of those fancy websites with all these, like, everything moves as you go through it, and it's super professional looking, and it requires a 1080 Ti graphics processor to load.
Yeah,
okay.
1 gigabit internet connection. And
exactly. You got to think, what is it that Google wants? Well, what Google wants is not Home Depot as the answer for flooring every time somebody searches it. And mind you, that was on the first page. Okay. What Google wants is the local mom and pop shop that is established, that is what people are looking for when they're putting in keywords like flooring contractors and things related to that. Now, ironically, Google isn't looking for the people who are putting a ton of money into websites, putting a ton of money into SEO packages, things like that. No, because the thing is, Google owns those SEO package businesses. You wouldn't believe it, but they do. And what they do is they take notes on who is buying popularity with the search engines, and then they blacklist them. It makes sense because Google doesn't want fake people going into fake websites to get fake traffic for fake popularity to get fake business. Like, it doesn't make sense for Google to.
Right.
So they make money on both ends.
It's actually kind of deceitful in a way.
Oh, exactly. But if not them, it would be somebody else.
Right.
So
no, I'm talking about people doing that, buying SEO packages to promote themselves, make them look more established. Exactly. Which is why I can see both sides of it, why you would want that, but I can see why Google
now most people don't
as well.
Exactly. Now most people, they just want something simple to look at. Like, they don't want to spend more than a minute or two on a website before they put in for the quote. So in that sense, the simplicity works, but in another sense, it's not ranking up because Google doesn't know what the hell these people are doing. If you look at the text, they have maybe like 75 words about quality service on installation. They don't even say tile. They've got grammatical mistakes here. It's kind of like a shit website, So Google is going to say, okay, they didn't even put effort into this. Not only do they not have SEO packages, but nobody's talking about this website. It gets zero traffic from other people. So I don't even know that this business is alive. So there's that balance that you're looking for. Okay. So a site like this, easily beaten, especially when it says copyright 2018. That just tells Google, okay, you haven't touched the site in 7 years. Okay, fine. So, but what they do have is no reviews on Google, and they show up first. And what's funny about this is, if what you're saying is true, they're packed with customers and they're booked out, because that's what you're saying the area is. So here's what we're going to do next. We're going to actually look at the traffic in that area. So I'm gonna go to, where is it? Is it here? I have a, yeah, keyword planner. Okay. So when it comes to keyword planner, there's a little bit of an art to this. So I'm just gonna say Maryland for now. Get rid of the United States. We're going to look at this. And this is generally how you get like an idea of how ads will perform. That's what it's designed for. But it tells us about how popular certain search terms are as well.
Do you pay for this?
You should. So flooring contractors, there are free ways around it. Flooring contractors, what are some other keywords related to flooring?
Oh man. Hold on one second. I have the keywords
Tile,
right here.
contractors near me. And then we could
Flooring, floor refinishing, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, vinyl flooring, tile flooring, carpets. Not that I want to do anything with carpets. Subfloor preparation.
I'll say floor contractors. Okay, we're gonna let Google take the wheel from here. So get results. Now what they do is, they use their algorithm. They're like, okay, we've got all these sorts of things right here, of course, some of these don't make sense, and we're not looking to like find people who are just search controlled by 24, right?
Could be anything.
Yeah, but this is going to give us a sort of a bird's eye view of what's going on here, and I have a way through, working through my industries, my experience, the way that I handle these searches. I've done this exact search, I've done this exact competition, and I've built out sites on my own dollar to rank them up and see what sort of traffic I get. So it's sort of an experience thing, but I'm showing you what the process is. It is legitimate. But it was definitely hit or miss when I first started. So I'm going to select all for now, and I'm going to create a plan. Okay. Now that they're added to the plan, I go into the forecast, and Google uses all of its genius knowledge and AI to come up with an ad budget for what sort of results I'm looking for. 10 times out of 10, it's wrong, but it gives you a ballpark. Okay, so this is in the United States. This is where I'm going to go a little bit more targeted. Okay. So let's say we're just doing Pasadena. I'll put in Springdale because that looks affluent. Oops, not Arkansas.
Do Severna Park. Severna Park is very up and coming. They just built a new high school, and everybody and their mother wants to move there.
Or wait, hold on a sec.
Houses in Severna Park are going
is
crazy.
That surrounding this area?
Severna Park is literally right just south of Pasadena on Route 2 there.
Oh, I see it. Okay, perfect. Okay, Severna Park, that is close enough for us. So we can add that in there. Because what I'm looking at is, do I want to build out a website that's targeted in just that area? Not all of the areas you want to go into, but targeted so that you rank up first. If you like, SEO for the county is a much different ballgame than SEO for a city. So if you go in for just a city, it's a lot easier to rank up, and it's cheaper to do. It just requires another digital platform. And it has its challenges, but let me tell you, 100% worth it. 100% worth it. We'll also put in Lakeshore, because why not? Lakeshore, Maryland. Try to get, to the 200,000 population. Right. I'll put in Springdale too.
Arnold is another one. Cape St. Clair.
Or you know what?
Cape St. Clair is
let's not get greedy. Let's not get greedy. I want to be, I try to be conservative with this stuff. Okay. So when it comes down to building out a website, I'm not looking for a budget. And this is like a little budget meter for results. So what I want to do is I want to see how many people are searching this. Okay, over 10K for flooring is great. So 14K, I feel pretty confident going into this area. I would really like to take out maybe also, would you prefer Pasadena over Severna?
Severna Park has more money.
Okay. Let's see where we're at. 6.4K, or sorry, 7.3K impressions. Okay. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. It's a little bit iffy, but let's see what Pasadena brings in. But if it is higher ticket, then even better. So it might be okay to have
Yeah,
a small amount of impressions.
Pasadena's very hit or miss. 1 second you could be in a nice area, and 1 second you could be in the complete ghetto.
I see. That might be the best place to start. We looked at it. We've got one
Yeah, that's
competition.
true.
We're looking at 10K. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Which is great.
So
Now,
what are impressions?
yeah, so impressions are searches. How many people search
Okay.
for flooring, like these sorts of keywords in Pasadena? So of course, if we're going to look at this a lot more closely, I'm gonna adjust this by impressions. Tile flooring we want to keep. Like, what do we want to show up for? Flooring companies near me, wood floor refinishing.
Flooring contractors.
Yep, flooring contractors, luxury vinyl tile flooring. Sure, absolutely. Tile insulation, ceramic tile, carpet tiles. Absolutely not. So you'd remove that. That's 200 impressions. Home Depot floor tile. Yeah, that's a do-it-yourselfer. And you bring it down to where now you're in like 80 impressions per month.
Right.
It doesn't matter. This is just giving you an idea. And we're gonna end up around like 9 or 10K, which is fine when it comes to starting a website that's targeted for that area. We're going to build a Google Maps around it, something like a shell business. Okay. It's not going to be like Michael Sassone's
Right.
tile flooring. It's going to be PasadenaTileFlooring.com.
It's
And
going to be
Google,
a funnel.
exactly. And Google's going to see that. They're going to be like, oh, I know what you do. We don't have anybody for this. So this is perfect. And then you're going to have a Google Maps listing. You're going to go through the effort of making a Google Maps listing, getting it verified, tied up to that website. And we're going to start building up with a light SEO, just very basic things that any business owner would do. Of course, I automate it. I take care of that. I might even pay upfront for it, depending on how we do things. And I would say, honestly, for tile flooring alone, I would love to get into this area because I have one competitor with 20 reviews and everyone else is shit. And we've got the traffic, so I've done this enough. I've done this for like about 60 sites or so, like this sort of trial and error. And I've looked at this and I'm pretty quick with it at this point. I've got a pretty good eye, just like somebody with real estate. I can't do real estate, but other people can look at a house and know everything about it, it's kind of that sort of thing. So I think Pasadena is a great place to go into. Of course, we could look at other cities within that county. We might want to set up multiple websites, and I'm willing to do that. And then we could also look at another niche. So let's say the other thing that you were looking at was kitchen remodeling and bathroom remodeling, which is huge. That's where you're looking at, buy-in at 10K up to 60, 100K.
Right.
Which is,
I picked those three because one, they're indoor projects.
Yeah.
So that'll get me through summer and winter.
Okay.
Those are things people typically do in the summer and the winter. They're all year round things. It doesn't matter really what time of year, and it'll just keep me and the people I have helping me out of the heat and the cold.
That makes sense.
So that's a win-win-win for all of us. Plus, I can't tell you how many they're easy too.
Yeah.
They're very easy turnarounds. They're not going to require a lot of, framing and demolition and like all that stuff. So I can get in there and get out in probably a week.
Perfect, man. Perfect.
So that was a very strategic. I put a lot of thought into figuring out what services I wanted to offer.
This is huge, man. Being a general contractor, the more broad you get, the harder the marketing is for that. Because one, it's more competitive. Two, you need to rank up on all these keywords in one central location, which I'm not saying you don't want to work on, because over the course of 10 years, it's a huge slow burner. But over the course of 10 years, you will build up that foundation and it will make sense. But you're trying to really make money now. So that's where general contracting, somebody going to a general contracting site who's looking for flooring or bathroom remodeling, they're going to get confused. They're going to get the next guy that specializes in tile, So that's the idea, is you want it to be quick, easy, simple, no buts, and they get in touch. They do a little quote form. They give you a little call, and it's super easy for them. And then you get into the details with them on the call or at the quote. That's what you're looking for. So you can see what I'm doing here, and I'm looking and I'm like, okay, we can do Pasadena here. We can do kitchens and bathrooms. What I want to do is I want to spend some time over the weekend and not just rush through this. I want to really do my due diligence and find different cities around here. But what I'm focused on is making a strategy and a deal with you today. And that doesn't mean taking money, because I'm not taking money today.
I got you. All
Yeah,
right, cool.
but I want to get it figured out to where we're both making money. Okay.
I'm down with that, man.
Absolutely. So here's what I'm thinking. You know, pay-per-click ads, uh, we can get into that. Absolutely, and we could find the area where that makes sense. We can definitely do that. And with such like a large area and an affluent area to work with, I'm pretty confident that we can find something, especially since you do so many niches. I can find the lowest hanging fruit and say, dude, like if you don't go into this, we're probably leaving money on the table. But
Right.
the thing to keep in mind with paid ads is typically you want to have a budget to start with that you can afford to lose. It's a little bit of like a digital marketing gamble,
Yeah.
but it provides high returns quickly. That's the benefit of doing Google ads. And that's what you want to do is Google ads. Facebook ads, they're cheap, but the leads are shit. And honestly, they're showing it to people who are sitting on the table. We can go into that on another time, but really Google ads is the way to go. You just want to find the right strategy. You want to be competitive. You want to find the low hanging fruit and take advantage of that. See the most return on ad spend as possible. This is like most people, like real estate, they'll say ROI, return on investment.
Yeah.
In marketing and business, we call it ROAS, return on ad spend. Okay. That's the first metric that you want to look at. And then after that, you want to see cost per client. Okay. Or cost per acquisition. Okay. So CPA. Oh wait, hold on, I forgot that you basically have a business degree. Okay, I'm sorry.
You're good, man, you're good.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
Refresh me, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, dude, I like it though. I'm pretending I don't even know shit, because I mean,
you might learn
a lot of this stuff I forget, dude. I mean,
well, it wasn't relevant back then,
yeah.
So now it's relevant, and I just took a $15,000 course on it. So
hey, man, preach it.
Absolutely.
Help you attain it.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to provide accountability, because with online marketing, you're able to actually track how many people are clicking your ads, how much you're spending, and you're actually able to track the calls, where they're coming from, start to finish. I can even record the calls and I could say, yeah, this one worked, this one didn't. You could work on this closing style to get more estimates or not. We could talk about that if you wanted to.
Right.
And we could look at the cost per acquisition with different methods and different niches, and figure out which ones are worth getting into and which ones aren't worth getting into, over time. Ultimately, marketing is something like business. You don't know until you get into it. But we can provide pretty good guesses. You live in the area, you know the culture, and I know online, I know how to bring that out. So what I'm thinking personally is I'm willing to build out multiple sites, multiple digital platforms, get started on those Google Maps, get those verified, because that takes time. And usually it's within like 2 months, you might start getting like calls trickling in, maybe 3 months. Of course, because Google takes about 6 weeks to index you and put them on the search engine, then they'll test you out within those 2 months. They'll put you at the top and see how you perform, collect some data. And then if you perform well, they'll keep you up there. That's how that works,
So what determines if you perform well?
Well, they can track the traffic on the page. They can track where people are clicking. They can track if, what, are you what people are searching for? So they have different metrics, probably more than I could possibly explain or understand, because Google's algorithm and their SEO tactics haven't been revealed since 1995. So we do a best guess, we do a guess and check system, and a lot of us marketers, we come together with, open arms with each other, and we figure out what works. So that's how I got into this and out of shipping. Is I paid, like something like $4,000 or something to get into a program that these were SEO experts. They've already, they're at 7 figures a month,
Wow.
Yeah.
A month?
A month. Yeah. Because there's, well, if you think about it, how many tile companies are there? How many landscaping companies are there in the world? And they're just like, yeah, I'm just going to go into the niche and city and I'm going to rent out the sites. It costs them like 15 bucks a month to run after they set it up. They put in the work, they pay for everything, and then they rent it out. And then
Right.
the other people, the business that it's attached to, they just make money. So we don't have to talk about ad revenue or anything. When I spent like 30 bucks a month or something on a website, and they're making something like anywhere between, $5,000 and $30,000 or something with concrete contracting or solar.
Right.
They're like, yeah, like if you want to pay me 2 grand a month, that's great. And then they rinse and repeat, you know?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, last week when we spoke, we had talked about building a website for each of those niches I mentioned. So one for flooring, one for kitchens, one for
Right.
bathrooms, and then optimizing it using the keywords that I found. Or I'm assuming that's a very small part of what's going into it, but ideally to create 3 funnels for those
Yep.
services specifically to capture whoever's organically searching that. And then we would do that. And
Yeah.
yeah. So
Mike, this is what I want to do. Okay.
hit
You're
me.
you're absolutely on point. I want to find first off the niche in the area that works for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be all of these niches. Uh,
Right.
but what we want to do is we want to get the most return on investment with the least competition and the most volume. So I want to do research on these 3 niches throughout the state or throughout the county, and I want to find the best shot at building a digital platform and getting a quick return that's steady organically. Okay. So what I'm going to ask of you is how many digital platforms do we want to start out with to build? And then after we build out those digital platforms, if you need the traffic and you're willing to invest, then we can run ads off of one of these platforms, a few of these platforms, and see how it performs. We can definitely do that. And I won't charge an additional service charge the first month for it because I know that you're taking a risk. We're boys. So I would do it at cost for you. Now, the other thing is I could build out these platforms and I could also build out these platforms at cost for you. So like I said, they're pretty cheap to build out. We need, a cheap citations package, maybe like, 30 bucks or something like that.
Right.
I need to set up the website, which you've done that before. It's like 10 bucks or something,
Yeah, for the domain.
Yeah, so we're talking really cheap here. I'll build out the website because I believe in it. But if you maintain the website while I build it up and we start getting calls, then we start talking
Okay.
commission per closed deal, because I'm incentivized as you close deals to make it happen. And then if the
Right.
call volume really bumps up, like if we're talking like, you know, uh, once we get to like the 20 call a month range or something like that, we'll make it really simple. And I'm not going to be following up on these calls. I'm just going to break it down to a lower than the commission would be, a very low monthly rate. So then I don't have to worry about it. You're making more money because it's not commission anymore.
Right.
It's just
All
like
right.
easy and you're already making overhead on it. So the risk that you're taking is in me building out these sites and paying for the overhead on that, and then potentially running ads if you want to. And we can look into that.
I can cover the cost of the websites. That's no problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I can cover all that overhead. That's
okay.
no big deal at all. You don't have to eat that cost for me, man.
Dude,
Let's
I
do that.
appreciate that. And what
No,
that does is that
I'm not
allows me
gonna.
to invest in you for free.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have you eat that. No, those are my business expenses, man. Don't put
Okay.
that on yourself. So I'll cover the websites. Um, what would you recommend for the digital platforms, though? Obviously, Google definitely.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what do you mean by like Facebook and Instagram and
Yeah.
TikTok and all that? Honestly,
Yeah.
I think we should just stick with Google for now.
Yeah. So the way that this works is everything stems off of Google. So like Facebook and all that, they all feed into Google. They all feed into Google, and Google
Okay.
takes that knowledge and allows Facebook to
So
be
it helps to
productive.
have all of that. I mean,
Yeah.
I can take care of making a Facebook page and an
Don't
Instagram page.
don't I don't want you to. What I want you to focus on is the Google Maps.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah. Like for each platform that we build out, however many that you want, that you think you can afford. Again, it's like a 2 month mark before we really start making money. Sometimes it's like, 4 months. Sometimes it's that like week, I've seen it all sorts of ways, but I need to set these expectations realistic.
Right.
We're putting in best effort here to make it happen for a good price for both of us. Um, So if you wanted to build out 6 sites, that does turn into something like, with the call tracking, we set up call tracking with it. And we could find ways around this, but I think it'll turn into like something like 300. I could give you the itemized bill, to where you actually know what's happening. I'm fine with that. But I want to find all the best areas and figure it out. You pay the overhead, and then once you're paying the overhead, then we'll start looking into commission deals, and then low monthly rate when we're done like tracking it every single like
All right.
close. Because obviously I
You,
can trust you, but it's a lot of work.
I hear you. You really think we need 6 websites?
Um, maybe. It all really depends. Like, when are you looking to close deals and get out of what you're doing?
As soon as possible, really. So,
Okay. So it really comes down to you and the rate that you want to go. I'm
yeah.
learning, like, I've got a few tens of thousands in my business checking right now, and I've spent 2 weeks designing a logo, and I just realized today how stupid I am, because I should be paying somebody $500 just to do it for me, because that just took 2 weeks of payment out of
Yeah,
my pocket.
dude, these
You
are
know?
all lessons I learned with my CBD business, dude. I tried doing literally everything myself. That's why I had a whole business strategy that outlined exactly what I wanted. I got into this
Yeah.
because I wanted to. So my father and I kind of, for years, I've been trying to take over the family business, but he refuses to let me because he doesn't want me to scale it.
Hmm.
He had his business is a multi-million-dollar home improvement business on Long
Yeah.
Island that he built with him and one worker,
Right.
which, like you had said, the odds are infinitely against him.
Yes. Absolutely.
But he made it happen, mainly because my grandfather started the business in 1946 and it already had a reputation when my dad
That's
took it
amazing.
over.
Yeah. So
So
no
my
marketing
whole
needed.
thing was, you're right. So it's been word of mouth since day one, and he has more business than he could ever. People know him, and my
Yeah.
dad's very well liked, and he's very well known, and like it's just
Nice.
it all worked out for him. So I wanted to take it over, and when he, this was years ago that we had talked about it, but I had told him like I don't see the I just I don't see the benefit of working to make someone else rich. I don't see the benefit of working myself. I don't
Yeah.
To me I don't want to be the one swinging the hammer. And
Yeah.
that's where we have a whole disconnect. He doesn't agree with me hiring crew and foremen where I would be the CEO and then I'd have foremen under me that would
Yeah.
oversee each crew. I would have like 3 or 4 crews ideally that could go out to different jobs at any time. And then I can go and just have the foreman report back to me so I still know what's going on. And then maybe occasionally take a drive out, make sure the quality control is good.
Right. He
And
he
just
fail he fails to see that they're not interested in him personally. They're interested in the quality he provides and his reputation.
right,
Yeah.
right. And it just he thinks the quality would go out the window. I disagree as long as you maintain quality control. I mean,
Yep.
what he doesn't realize is by hiring other help, you're freeing yourself up to focus on that aspect of it. You can
Yeah.
make sure it's there, but
Hey,
whatever. So he doesn't want me to have anything to do with it. He's leaving
that
the family
sucks.
business to a friend of his, and
What the hell?
I swear to God, dude.
That
So
hurts, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
so
Like,
now here I am trying to build our family business, a subsidiary essentially of the family business down in
yeah.
Maryland, because I see something that I did it for 15 years. I know the business, I know the trade, I have the skill set. I am that technician that what's his name talks about in the
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. How'd you like that
but
book, by the way? Did you
oh, dude,
finish it?
I'm halfway through it.
Nice.
And I just got it Saturday. So it's a good book, but it's very on par with a lot of the other books that I've read.
Okay.
Just a different
Take.
take on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like this is more. It's I like it better. Like I read the 4 Hour Work Week,
Yeah.
and it's very see the 4 Hour Work Week would be more applicable to what you're doing.
I see.
It's the 4 Hour Work Week is all about automating a
Yeah.
business,
That's what
and
I'm learning.
so that you should read the 4 Hour Work Week then.
Okay. Okay.
Whereas the E Myth is what I should have read instead of the 4 Hour Work Week, where
So we
it's
have to flip.
yeah, literally, hey man, everything happens for a reason though,
Yeah,
right? So
man.
I mean,
Dude. Yeah, we're looking
um,
at a good partnership here, man, because we
so
trust each other.
yeah, dude. So yeah, hell yeah, dude. So a lot of what I've read in the EMIT so far is a lot of what I learned from my CBD business that I said I was going to do differently with this one.
Right.
So like he talked about going into it, treating it like it's a mature company already, which is what I was doing from the beginning. Now I went into it like we were talking last week, and I said, you know, I might have to do some of the work initially. Like my plan is to get employees under my belt as fast as possible so I
Yeah.
can focus on everything else.
And that's
And
a
that's
volume thing alone, you know.
yeah,
You got to have steady marketing coming in,
yeah,
you know. So we got to figure that one out. And
yeah.
I take a, you know, a good chunk of that responsibility. You
Yeah,
know.
hey man, but that's why I have, you know, I'm not opposed to asking you to help because I mean, I'm serious, dude. When I did the CBD thing, it was like that. It was just me at the top and me everywhere else, and I did it all, dude. I did all my graphic design, I did the web design, I did all the SEO, I did all
Yeah.
the copy, I did all the product labels, the designs for the products, I formulated the products, I did all it just fucking everything, and it was just not. And then you add the competition on top of it in the CBD industry, and then I didn't have the funding and everything. It was just a huge recipe for disaster. So I was like, you know what, the hell with this. We're going into home improvement because I know it. I'm good at it. I
Yeah.
understand it. People need it.
That's it, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like there's
Yeah.
it, and
And the thing is, you've got like a charcuterie board of services that you can offer and
right,
eventually niche down into, which gives you the best ROAS,
right,
you know?
yeah,
So the
yeah.
options are
So
there. So here's what I'm gonna do. You know, one website with call tracking. The call tracking is really the expensive part about this. You know, SSL, I'm gonna assume, you know, let's over assume. Okay, let's say per website is 25, $30 a month. Let's just assume that to be safe because I gotta look into it.
that's
Uh
just for the domain and registration and whatever, right? Just to have
Uh,
it.
it's the hosting, it's SEO packages will kind of like fit that in there, you know, basic ones that I know work, that I trust, and ones that I do by hand as well.
Okay.
It's including, you know, building out that Google Maps listing, ranking up that Google Maps listing. Um, you know, it's everything that you need, getting mentioned on Facebook and Instagram, getting those figured out. Um, you know, I'm thinking like let's just assume that it's $30 a month. How many sites would you want to essentially plant a seed for, you know, to start out with?
Well, I was thinking we could start with just the three for the, you know, one for flooring, one for kitchens, and one for bathrooms, and
Okay.
see how that goes.
I think we can do that.
And
Absolutely.
then, I mean, I
So,
can't afford right now. I shouldn't say I can't, but right now,
yeah.
300 something bucks a month would be pretty steep. I'd
Okay.
be comfortable with spending 200 a month on three websites
200 a month on three. Oh, I don't
if
think you're
we.
going to be spending that much. I don't. Yeah. And the
All right.
idea
Well,
is
I mean,
the
that's
more
even better.
places.
So,
Yeah. I'll
so if
say
we could do
this. I'll say
200 on four websites, or you know,
whatever. Well, okay, actually name a budget and then I'll make as many websites fit under it as possible. How does that sound?
let's shoot for 150.
150? Okay.
Yeah, because I'll tell you why. Because I can do, I can stand if it really if push comes to shove, I can stand one overnight watch and make it.
Okay, that's
And
fine.
then and then
Yeah,
then then I'm killing like three birds with one stone because then I'm away from the house. I have a quiet area and an
yeah,
office on the ship.
yeah.
I can get work done too there. So
Right.
that would be,
And
it's not necessarily
and
trading
also,
time for money. So
yeah, and think of it this way, you know, let's say it takes 3 months to land your first like client, like close deal, you know. Let's say it takes 3 months. That's you know, what, $450, right?
yeah, I mean, hold on,
Yeah.
it's in my strategic plan that I'm hoping that I have. Let's see. I want it, yeah. Well, my objective is to take home $350 minimum from each contract for myself.
Right. So here's what I'm saying though, is between as many sites, we'll say $150 is five sites. Let's say it's five platforms, five niches, or a couple doubled up, you know, because they were just low-hanging fruit. Let's say it's five sites and you're
Mhm.
3 months in and you closed one deal, okay, for kitchen remodeling, and it was 10K.
Right. And
I
more than
probably
me.
say it has now paid off and then some off of
Right.
one call in
Right.
in 3 months. You
Right.
know? And we're talking about setting up all these sites. We know Google's going to push that up in the first 2 months. It has to. So you're going to
Right.
start getting calls. I'm going to
Okay.
be ready for it.
Yeah, so
So
let's roll with that then.
yeah,
Let's shoot for 150 and see what
yeah,
we can do with that. And if we need to bump it up, we
yeah.
can.
And let me tell you, I'm incentivized to put as many sites into $150 as possible, because the more sites we have, the more calls we're going to get, the more platforms I have for this. And then I
Right.
can rent it out for more money because you're going to be closing more deals.
Well, okay, let me ask you this though. Is
Yeah.
that realistic? Is that a realistic budget for that? Or are we stretching it? Because
I
if
don't
I
think you're
need,
stretching it at all.
you
No,
don't, okay,
no, I
all
don't.
right.
Yeah, like honestly, this is very comfortable. And if we are, then I'll talk about it. But really,
Okay,
if we
yeah,
were to
yeah,
do
if
this with
we, yeah,
one site, it would be worth it. But it's kind of like with marketing, you could have what you think is great due diligence and everything
right.
works out, and then it doesn't, and you're like, damn, I'm in the hole. Like I do have quite a few sites, honestly, that I've had for over a year, and I don't get any calls. I
Now
keep
this,
I keep the sites, but it is what it is.
and this is a month, right?
Yeah, a month,
Okay,
150 a month. Cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
And the
totally
thing
fine with
is,
that.
you're making it so that I don't have to go into the site or go into these areas on my own dime. I could invest in them. I've already got you hooked up to it. So I'm totally happy with this,
Yeah,
you know? Whereas like I would set up like towing in Orlando, and the site would take 2 months. I'd pay for it. I'd hope that I could find a business owner. You'd be surprised how many business owners don't want callers, or they'll complain about it. They don't want to spend $1 on marketing. I'm like, dude, I made you $5,000. I was recording the calls. You don't want to pay me 200 a month, 300 a month. What's wrong
right.
with you? You know,
People just get greedy.
they do. So then I cut them
And then
off, and then
it
I give it
bites
to their
them.
competition.
Then it bites them in the ass.
Yep, exactly, man.
100%. Okay, so what do you need me? You said you want me to focus on Google Maps, right? So
Yeah.
what does
So
that mean?
so I'm gonna do research this weekend. I'm gonna find as many digital platforms as I can fit as possible uh, for that budget, and then I'll come back and I'll say, hey, we're gonna go into these areas, these niches, and these areas because we've got the best shot at success here. Uh, and then from there, I'm gonna start uh, guiding you through the how do I make a Google Maps for this and not get flagged. Google is horrible about suspending Google accounts, things like that. So we're going to be working together on that. But you get the Google Maps listing, that is like a supercharge to your organics. Okay.
Okay. So do I need, all right, so do you want me to create like a Google business profile in the meantime or no?
Not right now, no. I would
No,
say
wait,
for your
hold
own
off on that.
business, yeah, like I would say for your own business, you should plant the seed of getting like a really nice website and things like that. Get for your own business a Google Maps listing, start getting that established.
Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah, do
Right,
that for yourself, like
like a,
general contracting, whatever your actual business name is. But
yeah,
these ones, they're going to have your business name on there, but it's going to be Pasadena tileflooring.com, you know?
right.
And it's going to be exactly what people are searching for. So then they fall into that funnel much easier. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah. I
Cool,
got you.
man.
Okay,
Yes,
so I can go ahead and start on like an actual website for myself, though.
absolutely.
All right,
Yeah. And
cool.
if you're
I was
looking
wondering
for
about that.
somebody to build a website for you, I might be able to help you out. As far as basics go, things like that.
I was gonna keep it super freaking simple, man. Just
Yeah,
basically like a landing page, my logo. Hi, this is me. This is a quick little about
yeah,
us, and then
services
like
offered.
services and a carousel of recent jobs. And I'm just gonna post before and after pictures of everything I've done to my house.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what these lead gen
It,
sites are essentially going to be. There's a
you
few
know,
things in there that'll rank it up quicker, things like that. And I'll give
yeah,
you free consultation on that, no problem.
it doesn't need to be.
But
I know I don't need like anything
you
super
don't.
crazy
Nobody
for
wants
this.
to see that. They're looking to get a job done. They're not looking
Yeah,
for a digital marketing website,
right.
you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Yeah. So
Exactly. They
so
just want to
perfect.
be answered in one click. They just
Yeah,
want their answers in one click.
exactly. So if you do want to outsource, putting in that main branded website, sure, I could help you. It's not typically what I do, but I can help you with that if you wanted to.
Honestly, dude, you were talking about the logo. I use Fiverr for
Everybody's saying that, dude.
dude. I paid I paid this dude. I'm gonna send you this logo. I paid this guy freaking $60, and I am more than happy with what he sent back to me.
Let's see it. Actually, I want to get your opinion on this logo I made. Oh wow. That's pretty good.
I mean, I gave him, I just gave him a description of what I wanted. The logo to the right, we kind of stole from my dad's work van.
Fuck them.
But yeah, nah, listen, dude, it's mine.
Yeah,
So,
it's yours. You're entitled to it.
so
Tell me
yeah.
what you think of this. Wait, oh, I've got
Yeah,
the
dude.
blurred
So, but
screen.
that was $60, man.
Let me see.
$60 on Fiverr, and it saved me hours. I
Okay,
mean,
check out this one that I sent you. I want your opinion on it.
yeah, dude.
For my band, or my not my band, my business is called Sonisk, so I want that to be the O. The idea is that it's a radar.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is it
I
bad
no,
or
I dig it.
yeah?
Sonnet. You got to figure out. Honestly, I would just, I would, I would make that the I in Sonisk,
Ooh, wow. I was thinking the O.
or the O. Either one. I would just incorporate it into
Hmm.
your company's name somehow.
Yeah, that's okay, cool.
I
So
think
you
that
do
would be
like that.
bad.
Let
I think it'd be bad. It would just make more sense if it was like in the
in it.
name as
Yeah.
part of like one of the letters.
Yeah. If I gave you a hat with that, would you be like, yeah, man, this is it?
Fuck yeah, I'd rock that.
Yeah? Okay. Okay. That's all I
Dude,
need to
because
hear.
it's such a unique logo, people are gonna ask about it.
Dude, yeah. And I got a little
You know,
dot in there, as a little blip on a radar.
yeah. I dig it.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
dude. No, people, but you know what I mean? Like if I had a hat with that, just that on the front, if you had
Yeah.
like a leather patch with that on the front, people would ask, what's that about?
Ooh,
You
okay.
know? And then, but like for all of your branding and like shirts or like all your professional stuff, your
With
website or
the
whatever,
word.
I would have it with the words. So that way you start building that association.
Right.
You
Dude,
know, you want people to see that and know that that's Sonisk, but you're not at that point yet. So you kind of have to find that medium and treat it like it already is. So, and the way you're going to do that is just by forcing that association down everybody's throats,
dude, your
right?
e-commerce experience is shining. I love it, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, I tried. I learned a lot of lessons.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of lessons from it. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know, that CBD business, man, I just didn't make the time to put into it.
Yeah.
I guess in a way I didn't believe in it 100% because I just knew how much it was going to consume of me.
Yeah. And I saw you
And
struggling, man. I wanted to help you. I just,
dude, I put so much money and time and effort into it, and then it was just like, honestly, the biggest issue I faced was Google.
yeah.
Was just all the restrictions on anything cannabis related when you try to advertise on Google, Facebook, Instagram. As soon as they see CBD, it was, and then you just had to play so many games with it, like
Yeah.
and then and then you get into this fine line. I just there was a lot of risk I wasn't willing to assume. Like you could kind of like hide it, and then but if the FDA finds out, now
Fuck.
you're deceiving
Yeah.
people, and like you can't just do that. It just maybe one day I'll revisit it
When you've got a
when I
ton of
have
expendable
financial
income.
when I
Yeah.
have a shitload of money to just yeah,
Yep.
dude.
When you've already got a pot farm anyway, and why not?
Yeah, exactly. As one of my yeah,
It'll be an
exactly.
afterthought at that point.
Exactly, man.
All right, man. Well, I think we
Anyways,
figured this out. I feel pretty confident with it. I'm going to do research this
for
weekend.
sure.
There's nothing for you to do this weekend.
Do you
Uh,
want me to send you the keywords and all that
yes.
stuff that I generate? I mean, it's a lot. I did
Yes.
200 per thing, and I did a whole
Perfect,
bunch
man.
of. I did contractor keywords. I did
Yeah.
handyman keywords.
Perfect.
I did handyman services keywords, flooring services keywords, kitchen services, kitchen remodeling keywords, and bathroom remodeling keywords.
Dude, that's perfect. Like
So
here's sort of the kicker with it is I'm going to be ranking up these sites. The reason I'm so good at this is because I'm part of a very special group where everybody else is building out a ton of these sites and we get them to refer back to each other and they look like mom and pop sites and they're legitimate, you
that's
know?
awesome,
Yeah,
dude.
so Google sees that, Mary's, Fort Myers roofing is referencing this roofing website and they mention each other, they're like, Google sees that, they're like, oh my God, this is a golden egg. Like, absolutely.
Right.
Rather than just like you're on the BBB, you know?
Yeah. Do you want me to just copy and paste these into an email, or do you want a Word document?
Uh, Either or, it's fine. I put it into my own document anyway. So yeah, Word document works.
I'll do the Word document.
All right, brother. So I got to do a bunch of research. I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to finish it by the end of the weekend. I have a lot to do, but I'm going to definitely prioritize this very, very highly. And I'll definitely touch base with you, early next week about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, I'm getting that license in the mail or email this week. And then I'm going to start hitting my brokerage, my real estate brokerage hard.
Yes, definitely get your feet off the ground, man. Absolutely.
And then, yeah, so because that's almost guaranteed business. And I know there's a ton of people going to closing every week. They're asking, multiple people are asking about it. So
at the end of the day, maybe what I'm doing is just supplementing what you've already got.
Right. So, I mean, I might be able to come back to you and say, hey, I got an extra $1,000. Let's run an ad campaign.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So
See how it works.
So in the meantime, yeah, I'm going to try my absolute best to start and generating some income with it. I'm not just going to wait until all this website stuff is done. That's how serious I am about this, man.
Let's freaking do this, dude.
I am so fucking done with sailing. I'm just so over it.
Dude, believe me, I know the feeling.
I'm so over it.
Yeah. That's what has me working from the moment I wake up to, it's 9 o'clock at night now. I went to the gym. That's all I did for myself today.
It's freaking awesome.
Oh, it is awesome, because otherwise I would have been doing it on a ship. So,
dude, half of my motive, quite honestly, is I want to get this company to a point where I can get my employees on a mariner's rotation where they work 5 days. One crew works 5 days, the next crew works 5 days. They get paid through that 2-week period.
Yeah.
No matter whether they're working or not, but you get that week off in a contractor's fucking job, so that you don't burn out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like it's about time somebody figured that shit out, and I know it's going to take a lot, and so what it's going to require, though, is I'm going to need people that believe in it. I'm going to need to surround myself with people who believe in it. And I'm going to need investments, right? I'm going to need that company to buy rental properties to get supplemental income.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I'm going to need apartment buildings, basically. But I have a very strategic plan set out that I've revised a bunch of times already. Lessons, like I said, I can't emphasize it enough. Lessons that I learned from my other business that I'm not going to make the same mistakes this time. And I've got a really good gut feeling about all this. So,
dude, me too. Honestly, this is probably my favorite deal that I've made in digital marketing since I've started.
Really?
Yeah, no, and this is why. It's because, one, you believe in me. We believe in the product together, start to finish.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
well,
and
we got the same mindset.
We do, and this is 100% mutually beneficial. You understand where I'm coming from with it. So I get to invest in these areas. And of course, if it doesn't work, then it's a lost cause, for both of us. So I'll just keep working on the website over time.
It's not happening.
It's not.
There is no failure, dude.
Yeah, no. And that's
we're just going to learn. We're going to learn from what doesn't work. And we're going to come back stronger, dude.
You're better than what I thought.
I'm not. I'm not worried.
Yeah. So we're going to work together. We're working into it. I'm not just asking for some monthly rate and you're like, damn, dude, where are the calls? Where are the calls? It's like, no, dude, you're handling the overhead. I'm doing the work in the beginning,
Rome wasn't built in a night, man.
Exactly. So this makes sense because I have somebody hooked up to this platform from day one, which is amazing. And we're not starting on ads, which is amazing because there's so much pressure. There's emotional regulation with ads. There's a lot more work that goes into ads, and I'm willing to do it, but I've done it a lot and it's really hit or miss, and it's a lot more money.
Let me get the capital first.
Exactly.
And then we'll do it.
And then we'll figure it out. Absolutely.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right, Mike.
All right, brother. Always a pleasure, my man.
You too, man. You too.
All right.
I'll see you next week.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Peace.